Today I did the marbling on the table and the coffee table in the steam lounge. And so I've had fun doing this. And I also did the gold rims around the edges and around the legs, and that makes the pieces stand out more in the room. So we're all set to go for a nice dinner party. I'm really pleased with that. It looks really like I wanted it to look. Now, this video, I don't really want it to always be tutorials. I'm not big on tutorials. I'm an ideas person, and I really want to throw my ideas at you in the different ways I do things at you and hope that you're going to go away and make something special from them. So it's different doing miniatures and marbling in miniatures because it's so tiny and you're not throwing a pot of paint at a big wall of your house. Okay, so to do marbling in miniatures, you really need a piece of paper. I use Digistuff, which is really strong paper. It doesn't shred and it doesn't tear. You have to cut it with scissors, and it's very smooth. And I use aqua pencils, a dry brush, and a wet brush, and a tissue in case I make mistakes. And that's all I need. And I did a little sample of a curly sort of marble, and that's pretty much what I'm going to do. And I'm using a black pencil, and I'm just drawing in my fault lines, and I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on and lifting it up and making it a bit irregular. And this was chalk that has been under a lot of pressure over 25 million years ago, and so it's fractured a little bit. And this is what makes marble interesting. So I make my fault lines, and I take another colour. I think I'll just use a very light one, and I do tiny little ones. So I've got a bit of contrast here, minuscule. And then I use my wet brush, and I squish it around, softening up those lines. I don't want it to look too grey. I've got to be careful that I don't get it too grey, but I don't want white highlights either on top of these because they start to look like pillars. You don't want it looking like a puffy quilt. Okay, so you don't have to be fussy. You just have to have a fairly good idea of what you want to do. So then, I might have got it a wee bit darker. I'll show you. You can just squish it around a little bit with a piece of tissue paper. I'm being quite tough on it, really. But I'm getting it to where I want it to be. Now, just have a look and see what I mean about pillars, because this is starting to look like a bit of quilting. You don't really want that. You want to make those not so dark, so it starts to blend into the background a little bit more. Still just using my wet brush. And now that's getting to be where I want it to go. Now I've got a bit of green in my room, so I'm just going to put a little bit of green accent in here. You can put green or a rust colour, that works really well. Nothing too overt. And then using your wet brush again, just soften it up a bit. And that's pretty okay. So I'm happy with that. And there's nobody here to say I've done it the wrong way, I have to say. And there's nothing to tell you you've done it the wrong way either. You just do what you want to do. So there we go. So I hope you enjoyed that. Now, just so that you know that I haven't been slacking with the gypsy caravan, I have done a wheel and I've put a rim around it. That's just a cord that I've glued on. And I found some wallpaper. So now I'm all set to go tomorrow, and I will be able to do all the interior. So I hope you enjoyed all that.